Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. These are the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1 at the Emirates Stadium in match day 4. Number 1, Arsenal are mentality monsters and we never give up. Now, we've seen this a couple of times at the Emirates Stadium. Last campaign, Eddie Nketiah winning it. This campaign, Declan Rice winning it. Of course, we did it against Bournemouth, Reece Nelson. The element of mentality monsters is sinking in there. And there is one thing I will not agree with, and it's one thing I will not accept. The disrespect this team gets from rivals and pundits. When Liverpool win it against Newcastle late, Liverpool are mentality monsters. When Man United win it against Nottingham Forest late, Man United are mentality monsters. When Manchester City win it late, they are mentality monsters. But guess what? When Arsenal win it in the 90th minute, when Arsenal win it in the 100th minute, Arsenal are not mentality monsters. Arsenal are not good enough, and Arsenal cannot win games in the 90. It is a special element to have in your team. It is a special thing to have as part of the establishment. Personally, I think Arsenal need to win games a little bit quicker and a little bit earlier. For example, the Man United game, Kai Havertz, that penalty, if it is awarded, we run away with that, okay? If we take our chances, Kai Havertz in the first half, probably we run away with that. But there are times when it doesn't happen. There are times when it is not running in your favor. There are times when you need to leave the stage late. And to win it the way we won it, after Alejandro Garnacho closely being offside, he had won it for Man United, right? And Alejandro Garnacho winning it for Manchester United in the 88th minute or 9th minute, everyone would have said Man United, mentality monsters, away from home, they never gave up. So the mentality monsters we are conceded a goal that was later ruled out for offside, but we kept on going. We never settled for a draw. We never settled for a share, for sharing of points. I love that about this team. I love that about this club, right? When you play in the UEFA Champions League, probably quarterfinals, probably semi-finals, you cannot give up before the last whistle. You cannot give up before the referee has said it is over. Until it is over, it is not yet over. And that is one thing we've seen with Arsenal, carrying from last season even into this season. Arsene Wenger must be proud of this team, because Arsene Wenger's teams, however much they played good football, however much they entertained us, Arsene Wenger's teams were not mentality monsters, especially in the last 10 years. They were not mentality monsters. Do not even get confused about it. So I loved it. I think Arsenal are growing mentally. I think Arsenal are growing. We are reaching a new level every single campaign. Now, did we play absolutely well? No. Did we deserve the 3 points? Absolutely no. Right? But it's the same thing when Man United didn't play well against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and everybody said, "Well, you've got to pick up points when you don't play well, so that when you play well, you win." Okay, that is how you win the title. That is how you pick up points. And I think Arsenal displayed the real example of do not play well, but actually pick up the 3 points. We picked up 3 points in a fashion that anyone would have said sharing of points is the right order. If this game was to be judged by a court order, it ends 1-1. Because for me, Man United, they didn't do anything in the second half to show that they wanted to win the game. Erik ten Hag was blabbering about the penalty for Rasmus Højlund. I don't think there is anything in that. There is nothing in that. Actually, on the other end as well, I think it's Bukayo Saka who is through on goal, and I think there is collision, right? There is collision, and he goes down. I mean, he's pulled down to the ground. It's kind of soft. It's kind of easy peasy. It's not a penalty. Not every touch in the penalty area is a penalty. Apart from that Rasmus Højlund chance and the Alejandro Garnacho one, which is controversially offside, by the way, very, very controversially, very, very closely offside. But of course, the angles you have on TV are very different from the angles they have there. I just feel like Man United didn't do enough to win the game. Arsenal, did we do much to win the game? Probably not. Probably not. Yes, there is that Bukayo Saka chance that he just passes to Onana. What is he doing? What are you doing? You've got to take your chances in that position. But the mentality monsters we are, decided that after Man United trying to win it, we would give them nothing in that game, and we absolutely did that. Number 2, we saw the quality creatively, and that is a huge boost to this campaign. I was watching Laurie Chelsea, and he actually said something very interesting. He said, Arsenal's season has started today. Arsenal's campaign starts today. And I couldn't agree more. I couldn't disagree with him at any point in his video. Why? You see, the Arsenal that we saw yesterday and the Arsenal that we have seen for the first 3 games, those are 2 teams managed by different managers, and 2 teams that play very different styles. One Arsenal team that played Nottingham Forest, Fulham, and Crystal Palace had zero creativity. Zero creativity. The team that played against Man United created a beautiful chance for Odegaard. He finished it. We created a beautiful chance for Gabriel Jesus. He finished it. We scored from a set piece, from a dead ball situation. Declan Rice as well. Yes, it's poor defending from Man United, but it's a chance. It's a chance created. Saka in the second half had a 1v1. Actually, a 1v1 with a goal. He places that any side of Andre Onana, and Arsenal win the game without all that drama and without all that pressure. Kai Havertz as well had a chance, a clear-cut chance in the first half. How many big chances did we create in that game? How many big chances did Arsenal really genuinely put on the silver plate in that game? That is what I want to see. That is exactly what I want to see, right? I want to see us create chances. I want to see us barring chances that we have created, not barring penalties, not barring, deflections and things like that. Whenever, you see, whenever teams whenever teams successfully push us into that mode of shooting outside the penalty area, there is a problem. Yesterday, we did shoot outside the penalty area, and we did score, by the way, as Martin Odegaard was entering the penalty area. But one thing you noticed is that Arsenal didn't shoot a lot of the time outside the penalty area because we were comfortable. And I love you. I really, really love you, Alexander Zinchenko. You deserve your flowers in this game. You deserve your flowers as a player. You just deserve your flowers. Because what Zini did, and this is so very, very intelligent of Mikel Arteta and very intelligent of Zinchenko, because he understands football and he understands this Arsenal team and the setup. He inverts into the midfield with Declan Rice. But that is predictable. When you see Alexander Zinchenko, he's going to drift into midfield and form that second pivot. So what Alexander Zinchenko did, he pushed up further high up the pitch, and he allowed Kai Havertz drop into that pivot with Declan Rice. So literally what that meant is that Kai Havertz is not your Alexander Zinchenko, left defensive left back, right? So Anthony had to track the run of Alexander Zinchenko, and that meant that we didn't have any problems from Anthony because Zinchenko was literally far high up the pitch, right? So without Zinchenko, Arsenal struggled to create chances. True or not true? Let me know in the comment box below. Point number 3, Fabio Vieira deserves his flowers and he deserves to start games more often than not. We've got to agree. Now, one of the key points in this weekend for myself was Darwin Núñez, right? And I'm going to talk about that on the 90 more. If you want to watch the 90 more Premier League review, make sure you watch that video. It's coming up very, very shortly. What I liked about the weekend, and Jurgen Klopp, in particular, he realized how good Darwin Núñez has been. He realized the kind of hard work the players put in, especially when introduced in the game. And he decided this guy has to start. This guy has given us the best of his best. He's got to start. Now, Mikel Arteta has to learn this. A player like Fabio Vieira, who has shown you that he's more mature, he has shown you that he's stronger, who has shown you that he's ready to put up a fight, he's got to start games, right? He's got to be rewarded, and he deserves his flowers. It's kind of a very similar assist to the one he gives us in the Fulham game, and it's a pity that one doesn't win it. If he wins the Fulham game, and he wins the Man United game as well, or seals the Manchester United game, it would have been very different. It would have been absolutely very different. But for me, Fabio needs now game time. I know Kai Havertz is getting to learn the system and is building his confidence and all things like that, and I don't have a problem with that. But I think Fabio needs to have at least 40 minutes per 90. 40 minutes per 90. But of course, I'm not saying he needs to replace Kai. The Champions League is coming, and we expect at least more players and more faces in that competition. But Fabio deserves his flowers, okay? He's intelligent, he's quick in decision making. It's one thing I've always said. If you're not strong, like Fabio is not that strong, he's not going to outmuscle players, your brain is your asset, right? Like, you're not Odegaard. Odegaard can battle it with anyone, and it comes on top of a physical battle. Okay, not anyone. That is kind of an exaggeration. But he can battle it with a player like Bernardo Silva, or he can battle it with a player like Matthias Nunes, and he comes out on top. Fabio Vieira cannot do that. Fabio Vieira cannot outmuscle players, physically. So what he's got to do is he's got to release that ball. First and foremost, find space, so that you don't actually have to beat players 1v1. You don't have to struggle to find the ball. And yesterday, he did that very well. He anticipates where the ball is going to fall. He arrives there. And then, because Man United players are coming to close him down, he knows he cannot actually, go into a physical battle with them. He releases it first time. That allows Jesus to be onside. That allows Jesus to beat 1-2 players and take them out of the game and remain with Dalot, who he actually sent to Africa, and we have received him with absolute gratitude. Point number 4, the new system failed, but the old system is old and gold. Look, that is what we wanted. That is what I was asking for. Mikel, how about we go back to an old system that has actually worked, but polish it a little bit? As simple as that. For me, for us, for this system to work efficiently, there are 3 things we have got to work on. 1, Granit Xhaka has to be replaced by a player who can assist more and score more goals. That could be Trossard. That could be Fabio Vieira. That could be Kai Havertz. So that is one problem solved, because we have options inside the squad. Solution number 2, actually, is Alexander Zinchenko's left-hand side. So many teams were actually targeting Arsenal on the left-less campaign. What they were actually trying to do was to exploit that space left in behind by Alexander Zinchenko. For me, it's as easy as looking at that space, understanding that is where Zinchenko is going to be coming from, and making sure that there is someone always in the back of Alexander Zinchenko to back him up. Because what he does in the final third is far more important than him looking over his shoulder defensively. Okay? Number 3, replace Thomas Partey, because he's a key player and he's always injury prone. He's always out injured. That is all we needed to do to rectify the system. And the moment Declan Rice had that kind of run in midfield, the moment we saw Alexander Zinchenko covered at the back, and the moment we saw another player, actually, especially Fabio Vieira coming on, trying to replace the Granit Xhaka role, it actually worked out very, very well. Finally, Declan Rice, 100 million. That is why you pay up. Man United, Manchester City, Liverpool. That is why you pay 100 million for Declan Rice. You don't pay 100 million for Moises Caicedo, guys. He does not have it in him to go and become a Bastian Schweinsteiger. He's not going to become Gerrard. He's not going to become Vieira. He's not going to become who did I want to say again? That is not why you pay 100 million. You pay 100 million for Declan Rice. You pay 100 million for a player who's got it in him that he can go and win it on the cusp. You got a 100 million player that does not give up. You pay 100 million for a player that you know is gold. I missed this good Arsenal team. Like, for years and years, Arsenal have been trash, and finally, here we are. With some positives to talk about. With some huge positives to talk about. I'll see you right in the next one.